Okay, so let's go to Veda base. Yeah, so last time that double verse we completed. Yeah, so we completed 4 verses. So mainly we were talking about these different modes, worship in different modes, and what is the ultimate goal. Ultimately in 28, 29, we learned that everything is for pleasure of Krishna. He is supreme goal of life. And these are the words of Bhagavatam, right? This is not just that Srila Prabhupada keeps telling this to us, but these are words of Bhagavatam. So that's what Srila Prabhupada emphasizes again and again for our benefit. So now we will move on to text number 30. Srimad Bhagavatam 1 to 30. स एवेदं ससर्जाग्रे भगवानात्ममायया सदसद्रुपया चाउसो गुणमया गुणो विभुः सह that eva certainly idam this sasarja created agre before Bhagavan the personality of Godhead Atma Mayaya by his personal potency Sat the cause, Asat the effect, Rupaya by forms, Cha and Asau the same Lord, Gunamaya in the modes of material nature, Agunaha transcendental, Vibhuhu the absolute. Yes, Seema Mataji, please read.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
In the beginning of material creation, that absolute personality of Godhead, Vāsudeva, in his transcendental position, created the energies of cause and effect by his own internal energy. Purport. The position of the Lord is always transcendental because the causal and effectual energies required for the creation of the material world were also created by him. He is unaffected, therefore, by the qualities of the material modes. His existence, form, activities, and paraphernalia all existed before the material creation. He is all spiritual and has nothing to do with the qualities of the material world, which are qualitatively distinct from the spiritual qualities of the Lord.
So that's how he is out of this world, means above and beyond. So he is transcendental because he creates all the energies required for creation of material world. Okay, so small purport. Let's move on. Do you want to read the Sanskrit also, Mataji?
Yeah, I'll try, Mataji.
Yeah, sure, please.
Taya vilasites esu guneshu gunavaniva anta pravishta bhavati vignananen vigramabhitaha. Taya, by them, Vilasitesu, although in the function, Esu, these, Guneshu, the modes of material nature, Gunavan, affected by the modes, Iva, as if, Antaha, within, Pravishta, entered into, Abhavati, appears to be, Vignanena, by transcendental consciousness, uh, Vigramabhita, fully enlightened. Translation. After creating the material substance, the Lord Vasudeva expands himself and enters into it. And although he is within the material modes of nature and appears to be one of the created things, he is always fully enlightened in his transcendental position. Purport. The living entities are separated parts and parcels of the Lord, and the conditioned living entities, who are unfit for the spiritual kingdom, are strewn within the material world to enjoy matter to the fullest extent. As Paramatma, an eternal friend of the living entities, the Lord, by one of his plenary portions, accompanies the living entities to guide them in their material enjoyment and to become witness to all activities. While the living entities enjoy the material conditions, the Lord maintains his transcendental position without being affected by the material atmosphere. In the Vedic literatures, Shruti, it is said that there are two birds in one tree. One of them is eating the fruit of the tree, while the other is witnessing the actions. The witness is the Lord, and the fruit eater is the living entity. The fruit eater, living entity, has forgotten his real identity and is overwhelmed in the fruitive actions of the material conditions. But the Lord, Paramatma, is always full in transcendental knowledge. That is the difference between the supersoul and the conditioned soul. The conditioned soul, the living entity, is controlled by the laws of nature, while the Paramatma or the supersoul is the controller of the material energy.
Perfect. Yeah. So even though Krishna enters into the material world, why? Because I mean, he has to, after creating, nothing can move without his entering into it, right? So that's why he will enter, but he's never affected by the material moods, like us get affected, the conditioned living souls. Okay, so
Mataji, why? What does it mean? Like he accompanies the living entities to guide,
so when we
to
come to the material world, all the living entities, when they come to the material world, they cannot do anything unless Krishna enters into them. So we cannot even move our hands, legs, we cannot think anything, we cannot feel anything until and unless the soul enters. And even when the soul enters, it cannot do anything unless the super soul enters, right? So soul enters, and then super soul also enters in each and every living entity's heart. Then they become animate, and then they become intelligent also, they can think. So when we want to do something, like let's say I want to cook this vegetable today, let's say potato vegetable, then I will get that intelligence from my super soul, right? From super soul within, that okay, go to pantry, okay, look for this basket where potatoes are there, get them out, peel them, wash them, then cut them this way, that way. So all those things, right? So this way Krishna is directing us from within, otherwise we cannot do anything, basically. So he accompanies us, all the living entities, even like a small ant, he accompanies. Without him, nothing is possible. So even though he is in material world with us, he doesn't get affected by the moods. That's the essence of this verse. Does that answer the question, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Shilpi Mataji, let's go.
Hare Krishna Mataji 1.2.32 Yatha hai avahito vahadir darusveka sayonishu na nanuva bhati vishwatma bhuteshu cha tatha pumam. Synonyms: Yatha, as much as, he, exactly like, avahita, surcharged with, vahani, fire, darushu, in wood, ekah, one, Swayonishu, the source of manifestation, Nana even, like different entities. Bhati eliminates Vishwa Atma, the Lord is Paramatma. Bhuteshu, in the living entities. Cha and Tatha, in the same way. Puman, the absolute person. Translation: The Lord is supreme. The Lord is super soul, pervades all things, just as fire per, permeates wood, and so he appears to be of many varieties, though he is the absolute one without a second. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by one of his plenary part, expend himself all over the material world, and his existence can be perceived even within the atomic energy. Matter, antimatter, proton, neutron, etc., are all different effects of Paramatma, feature of the Lord. As from wood, fire can be manifested, or as butter can be churned out of milk, so also the presence of the Lord as Paramatma can be felt by the process of legitimate hearing and chanting of the transcendental subjects, which are specially uh, treated in the Vedic literatures like the Upanishads and Vedanta. Srimad Bhagavatam is the bona fide explanation of these Vedic literature. The Lord can be realized through the oral reception of the transcendental message, and that is the only way to experience the transcendental subject. As fire is kindled from wood by another fire, the divine consciousness of man can similarly be kindled by another divine grace. His divine grace, the spiritual master, can kindle the spiritual fire from the wood like living entity by imparting proper spiritual message injected through the receptive ear. Therefore, one is required to approach the proper spiritual master with receptive ears only, and thus divine existence is gradually realized. The difference between animality and humanity lies in the process only. A human being can hear properly, whereas an animal cannot.
Yeah, so the essence is there, right? Like in the wood, fire is there, in milk, butter is there. But there is a process to get that essence out, and that process is taught by Guru, right? So similarly, we can feel the presence of Paramatma by process of legitimate hearing and chanting in under guidance of Guru. Very nice. This is very, very hope giving verse.
Should I read or somebody else is reading, Mataji?
Yeah, you can go ahead, Mataji.
Okay. 1.2.33. Asau gunamayir bhavir bhuta bhuta sukhamindriya bihi swanirmiteshu nirvisto bhunte bhuteshu tadgunan. Asau, that Paramatma, guna mahi, influenced by the modes of nature, bhava, naturally, bhuta, created, sukshma, subtle, indriya, senses, atma bhi, by the living being, swa nirbhiteshu, in his own creation, nirvishishta, entering, bhunkte, causes to enjoy, bhuteshu, in the living entities, tat guna, those modes of nature. Translation: the Supersoul enters into the bodies of the created beings who are influenced by the modes of material nature and causes them to enjoy the effects of these modes by the subtle mind. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. There are, is it 8 billion? 8 million for
8,400,000.
400,000 species of living beings, beginning from the highest intellectual being, Brahma, down to the insignificant ant, and all of them are enjoying the material world according to the desire of the subtle mind and gross material body. The gross material body is based on the condition of the subtle mind, and the senses are created according to the desire of the living being. The Lord is Paramatma, helps the living being to get material happiness because the living being is helpless in all respect in obtaining what he desires. He proposes and the Lord disposes. In another sense, the living beings are part and parcel of the Lord. They are therefore one with the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita, the living beings in all varieties of bodies have claimed by the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita, the living beings in all variety of bodies have been claimed by the Lord as his sons. The suffering and enjoyments of the son are indirectly the suffering and enjoyment of the father. Still, the father is not in any way affected directly by suffering and enjoyment of the sons. He is so kind that he constantly remains with the living being as Paramatma and always tries to convert the living beings towards the real happiness.
Wow, such a sweet
Yeah,
purport by Srila Prabhupada. Oh my God.
so motivating.
So motivating. Like, think about this, that we can worry about our children so much, but we cannot be with them all the time, right? I mean, we
Mm-hmm.
cannot go with them everywhere. But
Yeah,
Krishna is with us all the time, 24 hours. There is not a moment that when he has not been with us. And since he is sitting in our hearts, so see, he is always thinking about us. And we just check out many times, right? Huh. And like, since we started reading today, we are reading that he helps create the material world for a living entity's enjoyment. And not only that, he also comes to this material world. He enters in the material world, makes it animate, and then he enters into all the beings also. And then also he never loses his transcendental position. And also it is being said now that he is always with us. And he has claimed all the living entity as his sons. He says in chapter 14, aham bija prada pitaha means his father of all the living entities, right? So he loves us unconditionally. Now there is nothing else to prove about, love of Krishna, affection of Krishna for us. So now there is no doubt in just giving ourselves to him, embracing him and accepting his embrace. So that's beautiful purport by Srila Prabhupada. Wow. Yeah, and this is also important that the gross material body is based on conditions of subtle mind, right? So what we think, accordingly, we take the next body. So that's very important. But the more essential thing is that even though we take some lower body or higher body, whatever we take according to our consciousness, Krishna accompanies us. That's most important. Okay, so let's read. Wow, today we are doing more verses because the purports were small. So good. So 1 to 34. Bhavayattesha satvena lokan vailoka bhavanah लीलावतारानुरतो देवतिर्यङ्गना naradishu. Bhavayati maintains Eshah, all these Satvena in the mode of goodness, Lokan all over the universe, Vai generally, Loka Bhavanaha, the master of all the universes, Leela, pastimes, Avatar, incarnation, Anurataha, assuming the role, Deva, the demigods, Tiryak, lower animals, Naradishu, the in the midst of human beings. Translation. Thus, the Lord of the universe maintains all the planets inhabited by demigods, men, and lower animals. Assuming the roles of incarnations, he performs pastimes to reclaim those in the mode of pure goodness. Hari Bol, beautiful. So he assumes the roles of incarnations, right? So he doesn't feel that any species is bad, right? Otherwise, I mean, he is coming in the form of fish, he's coming in the form of turtle, he's coming in the form of a boar, he's coming as a half lion and half man, he's also coming as a horse. Like, he comes in all the species. He is not considering that, oh, this is lower, this is abominable. Why? He loves, his love is just unconditional, and he performs pastimes by coming in those species to reclaim the souls in pure mode of goodness, right? So they have nothing left in this world to do because they only are serving Krishna, even though they were in this material world, right? How we are learning. So, and he also maintains the planets, where all the planets of the world. Okay, so purport. There are innumerable material universes, and in each and every universe there are innumerable planets. So we know only about our galaxy, and we don't know how many number of planets are there, right? I mean, they say 9, but then they reduced. But this is all scientists are talking, but we don't know like how many planets really are there. There are innumerable planets inhabited by different grades of living entities in different modes of nature. The Lord Vishnu incarnates himself in each and every one of them and in each and every type of living society. He manifests his transcendental pastimes among them just to create the desire to go back to Godhead, right? Why does he perform the pastimes? To develop a desire to go back to Godhead, because what purpose he has to come to this material world, right? But he not only goes to this earth planet, but he also goes to Patala, Sutala, Vitala, Talatala, everywhere. He is also going in the upper lokas. So like 14 planets are there in our Vedic cosmology, right? So he is going everywhere, and he does performs pastime to attract the living entities and to so that he can reclaim them. The Lord does not change his original transcendental position, but he appears to be differently manifested according to particular time, circumstances, and society. So that's why we need to be very, very careful while we are dealing with other people, because Lord is in sitting in everyone's heart, right? So our dealings need to be very respectful. That's what we are learning. Sometimes he incarnates himself or empowers a suitable living being to act for him, but in either case, the purpose is the same. The Lord wants the suffering living beings to go back home, back to Godhead. The happiness which the living beings are hankering for is not to be found within any corner of the innumerable universes and material planets. Wow, that's a powerful statement, right? Even Arjuna said, if you all remember, he said in 2.6, that even if I win the sovereignty of all the three worlds, this will not drive away my grief. Arjun says that, right? And this is proven now, right? We will not get happiness that we are really hankering for. I mean, some false happiness, little bit here and there we can get, but the really what soul is hankering for, that is not there in here. That is only in our original home. The eternal happiness which the living being wants is obtainable in the kingdom of God. But the forgetful living beings, under the influence of material moods, have no information of the kingdom of God. The Lord, therefore, comes to propagate the message of the kingdom of God, either personally as an incarnation or through his bona fide representative as the good Son of God, right? So, um, Lord Jesus called himself Son of God, right? So he carried the message. In our movement, we see so many sannyasis are there. They are giving the message of God. Like S.B. Keshav Maharaj is such a young sannyasi, right? He is giving the message of God that Krishna wants us back to Godhead, right? And that is possible while we are living in this world. Just perform all the services for Krishna like that. So that's what we are learning. Such incarnations or sons of God are not making propaganda for going back to Godhead only within the human society. Their work is also going on in all types of societies amongst demigods and those other than human beings. So there are higher living entities, right, in higher planets. So, like Narad Muni, he can go in all the planets, right? So he always preaches demigods, right? And Lord Shiva, he preaches the demigods. And in this material world, we see so many, messengers of Krishna are, around. So, like sometimes these things become so easily available that this is just like our normal nature. It's nothing that we do anything on purpose, but we tend to lose value of those things, as much as they are available. But we should try to understand what Krishna is providing in our life, and he's calling us, you know so yay, we finished chapter 2. Hari bol. Okay, so if anybody has any points to discuss or anything to add to our discussion, we can do that now. And we will start chapter 3 from Monday when we meet next. Shilpi Mataji, you had something?
Oh, Mataji, I think I have the hand raised from before,
Okay.
but yeah, I can share, Mataji.
Yeah,
I
please.
really like the
Mm.
point which Prabhupada is making, and we have been hearing about like chanting and hearing. So, like hearing, like I feel like Mataji, whether we are focused, not focused, but hearing the name of Krishna, hearing about him itself, like help in purification or like bringing down the restless mind, Mataji, what I feel.
So true, Mataji. Yeah. Just hearing the name of Krishna itself is like a cool breeze, peace, calm. Yes, beautiful. Because Krishna's name and Krishna are non different, and they are transcendental. They are not from this world. This worldly things, like if we put our brain into watching something or eating something, but that will suffice only for few minutes or few hours, but then again mind will start hankering for something. So yeah, when we feel like that, maybe we can chant a little bit, maybe we can read about Krishna, we can hear something about Krishna. All those things are really, really very powerful. Do some little kirtan, or even, I mean, I personally like a little bit cleaning if I have time sometimes, and I'm not overpowered by some mode of ignorance, then I do some cleaning. And I like to do some cleaning with some lecture or something, although I'm missing on that for a long time. But yeah, usually that's what I like to do. I mean, there are so many things we can do. But yeah, that's a good point, Mataji. Anything else?
Mataji,
Hare Krishna Mataji. Sorry, go
no,
ahead.
sorry, please. Okay,
Meghna
thank you,
Mataji,
Mataji.
you go first. Then Seema Mataji can go.
So I just wanted to say that, like that point that said that Krishna is with us all the time. Of course, we all know that, but
Mm,
that was a good kind of a reminder
yeah.
that Krishna is with us all the time, and he's trying to guide us in the right direction.
Mm,
Is very encouraging.
yeah, absolutely. So I found this personally speaking, I mean, there is a long way to go, but when these principles we hear, then yes, they stay with us in theory for some time, and we definitely like to hear all these things, because we all are in the need of love, right? And when we hear that, oh, somebody unconditionally loves us, then we really like that. But when we start contemplating on that how does Krishna's unconditional love manifest in my life, right? And then when we start making a list of certain things, that okay, what is coming to my mind? Oh, I get clean water, I get clean air, or whatever. Okay. So that way, we come to real appreciation. Not just liking is good, definitely, but we go beyond that. We go about appreciation, and then our heart softens little more, and then we go about gratitude. And then my Guru Maharaj always says gratitude is seed of love. Then we start proceeding toward love. So that is our purpose, and that is our real goal of Krishna consciousness, to ultimately develop love for Krishna. you know so I'm just saying that how can we deepen this knowledge, which is right now knowledge, but we can make it a realization for ourselves also by trying.
Right. No, that's so true. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you for sharing, Mataji. Yes, Seema Mataji, please go ahead.
Mataji, we have read that soul and super soul,
Mm.
Atma and Paramatma, both resides in our heart.
Mm-hmm.
So when a person dies, we generally says soul left the body, but we never says like super soul left the body.
Mm-hmm.
So is super soul also leaves the body at the same time when soul left the body?
See, super soul is not divided. Super soul is one. Soul are different. So super soul is just one, and that same super soul enters the body, and it stays. It stays with the soul all the time. So it's not like soul just travels alone. Without help of super soul, the soul cannot do anything. And of course, super soul is not divided into many pieces. Super soul is just one. So like we discussed this example in our Bhakti Vriksha, that from Srila Prabhupada's example only, that the moon is shining and there are multiple water bodies, and we are seeing different reflections of moon, but that doesn't mean that they are different moons. Moon is only one. So Krishna is there, and he is in our heart. So it's not nothing like, we are thinking about something really too physical. It's by the consciousness he's there in our heart. Of course, I mean, Bhagavatam also says that super so Bhagavatam talks about the the dimensions of super soul also. It says 7 inches. Super soul is 7 inches in our heart. So that's something amazing. But yeah, I would still say that super soul travels with the soul always. Soul cannot do anything without super soul.
Yes, Mataji, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Kashyap Prabhu, you didn't speak anything. Want to share anything to
Hare
enrich
Krishna
us?
Mataji. No, no, not enrich.
Of course.
I joined halfway,
Hmm.
but I only take got the little bit of the last part.
Uh-huh.
So I had a question, Mataji.
Mhm.
Like obviously Paramatma, as we learned, that is coming with the Jivatmas everywhere. So in the spiritual world also, is there Paramatma in the spiritual body, or
No,
that is no,
it's like
nothing?
Krishna himself.
Hmm.
Paramatma is Krishna's partial realization, But now here Bhagavan himself is there, like the complete realization. So Paramatma, Brahman, everything is within Krishna.
Right.
Yeah. So Krishna himself is there in the spiritual world.
Okay.
So he is with us, and we are all spirit souls in our original identity in the spiritual world. So there also Krishna never leaves us. He is there in Bhagavan feature.
Oh, he's there in the Bhagwan feature.
Yeah.
But he does he have to expand? Does he expand
No.
like Paramatma, or he's just there,
No.
all pervading? Okay.
Yes, he's all pervading. He's there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Okay, so we will, Dayaram, you have anything to share? Unmute.
Madhide, next week, Ram will be coming up, Madhide. So,
Oh, is it on falling on a Monday or a Thursday?
Thursday. coming up.
Thursday. Okay. On Monday, we will decide what we can do. Okay. We can probably change the day or something. Thank you for reminding Dayaram. That's
Here up, Madhide.
Thank you. Okay. So I'll see you all on Monday. Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo. Well, most of us meeting tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.